Amina learned early that silence could be safer than speech. At 29, she lived in a small Manchester flat where the heating clicked on late and the mornings arrived cold and colourless. She took the same bus every day, memorizing the rhythm of stops so she would not have to look at anyone too long. Windows fogged, breath visible, city life moving on without noticing her careful pace. Before the nail salon, before the steady work of shaping color and calm for others, there were promises made to her that were never meant to be kept. Human trafficking did not arrive loudly. It came disguised as opportunity, as help, as someone else deciding what was best. Fear still lived in her body. Broken trust sat deep. Even now, safe, rebuilding, her shoulders tightened when forms were delayed, when letters arrived late, when systems moved slowly around wounds that needed urgency. Amina had 3 siblings, 2 younger brothers and an older sister, still overseas, separated not by choice, but by survival. Their voices came through her phone in fragments, crossing time zones and silence. She carried guilt for being the one who made it out, and ached for those she could not yet reach back to. The salon was her refuge, the smell of polish remover, the hum of conversation she did not have to join. Here, her hands were steady, even when her memories were not. Each client trusted her fingers near their skin. Trust, she realized, was being rebuilt quietly, one careful interaction at a time. God met her there, not with loud declarations, but with protection that felt like rest, with an oath that did not require her to explain everything she survived. God's promise became shelter, covering what words could not hold. On one cold morning, waiting for the bus, Amina noticed something shift. The fear still whispered, but it no longer commanded. Silence was no longer only a shield. It had become space. Space for healing, space for God to restore what violence tried to erase. Her story was still unfolding, justice still delayed, systems still imperfect. But this was certain. God had never abandoned her in the silence. He had been guarding her within it. For those whose stories were stolen, for those rebuilding quietly, for those still waiting to be seen, this prayer is for you. Protecting God, you see what words cannot carry. You hear the silence left by exploitation, fear, and delay. We ask for safety where danger once lived, justice where systems move too slowly, restoration for bodies, minds, and futures interrupted by harm. Guard those still unseen, strengthen those rebuilding, reunite families torn apart by violence and deception. Let your oath stand as refuge, a promise no trafficker can break, no system can erase. We place survivors in your care. Make your justice sure, your mercy near, and your restoration complete. Amen.